So let's talk about it. Listen, I understand that tensions ride high and low when it comes to these games, when it comes to these football games. You know, you want to win. Obviously, you're going out there, you're playing 4 quarters of football, and things might not go your way. Which is not actually what happened here in any circumstance. The 49ers won this game, by the way. But what happened is Jake Moody missed 3 field goals in this game. And with our recent, situation with Evan McPherson, and now we apparently just don't kick field goals, it's definitely one of those situations where it's not good. He ended up kicking the game winner, which actually ended up winning the game. But still, missing 3 field goals is definitely not a good look. Well, Deebo Samuel let everyone know about it. Apparently, he wasn't too happy. He said some things to Jake Moody, the kicker. And the long snapper for the 49ers stood up for Jake Moody. Obviously, special teamers are going to do that. Just like offensive linemen stand up for each other, stand up for the quarterback. Offense stands up for offense. Defense stands up for defense. Special teams stand up for special teams. Well, apparently the long snapper said something back as a remark. So Deebo Samuel then went ahead and choked the long snapper and then punched. So let's just kind of get a general gist of what we're talking about here. He choked the long snapper and then punched Jake Moody in the head. So, yeah, you see Jake Moody not really responding, trying to hold back the long snapper, but he's not going after it. Even though he just got punched in the head, he's kind of like, you know what, I just don't want to get involved, right? And in the end, obviously the issue was the 3 missed field goals for Jake Moody, which obviously is what sparked this whole situation up. It's just crazy how, again, the long snapper defending Jake Moody ends up getting choked. I guess choked is a strong term. He puts his hand up to his neck. He doesn't choke him. He doesn't hold him like that. He just puts his hand to his neck, and then he punches in the side of the face of Jake Moody's helmet, which I always find so funny, and I can never not find this funny, is when NFL players, they get in a fight, they're angry, they're upset, right? And they punch another player in the helmet. I'm sorry, but you gotta be a special kind of stupid to punch another player in the helmet. And, the reason why, in case you're wondering, is because the helmet is metal. And you're punching metal with your hand. And you know what isn't metal? Your hand. When you punch someone's face, that's one thing, right? When you punch a metal object, you could break your hand. And this situation, why it's so stupid even beyond just, again, things are going to go over, people are going to be pissed off about the missed field goals, whatever. It's the fact that you punched a metal helmet. And in the moment, adrenaline's going to run high, right? You're going to be like, oh yeah, whatever, I punched him, I did it. I punched our kicker, who ended up kicking the game winner. But still though, dude, when you get to the sideline and you calm down and you're kind of your hand, bro, your hand is going to hurt. And you're a wide receiver. So that's kind of important, It's kind of important to have your hands. So to not only have issues with, another teammate screaming and yelling and putting a hand to his neck, you also punched a helmet, bro. I can't say this is the smartest thing I have seen because this might be arguably the dumbest thing I've seen. If you would have punched Jake Moody in the face, I still would have said that's disgusting, that's awful behavior. You don't do that. It's just, horrendously bad. But even beside that fact, you punched a steel helmet. Bro. And I also love the fact that he's like looking straight at the long snapper, and somehow Jake Moody, who he's obviously probably the one pissed at for missing the field goal, he's the one who gets the punch. He's the one who gets the punch. It's like, we're having an issue. But you know what? I'm still mad at you too, buddy. Let me give you a punch right there for that. I'm still mad at you. But you're not saying anything, and you're not aggravating me. So I'm going to punch you, but I'm going to try to choke him. Yeah. This game was crazy. You also had freaking Baker Mayfield able to one-arm, stiff-arm Nick Bosa throughout the whole entire play and still convert a 4th and 7. Also, your boy Nick Bosa got fined $14,000. Now, keep in mind, Jamar Chase got fined $34K, okay, for saying to an official or cussing at an official, okay? $34,000 for cussing at an official. That, apparently, according to the NFL, was because it made not only was they said he was verbally attacking an official, it also makes the NFL look bad when players are going at the refs. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that, but whatever, right? If that's the circumstance we want to say, right? We're going to say, my problem is, Nick Bosa wore a Donald Trump hat after the game, after the win. He only got fined $14,000 for that. Now, I don't care about politics. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to give my politics on this one, right? My point is, no matter which side you're on, politics-wise, politics does not belong in football, okay? Football and politics are not the same. You keep them separated. Football is a escape and a release for Americans from politics. You don't want to have to worry about the news. You don't have to worry about politics. You don't have to see all that crap. You watch football, okay? That's the escape, right? Now, the NFL obviously is ticked off that he wore the hat. 14 grand though? Like, him wearing that hat made the NFL look bad, right? Because the NFL obviously didn't want it. Number two, it upset people. Some people might not watch football anymore because he wore the hat, right? There's extremes, right? But that is a fact. Chase cussed at a ref who didn't call a penalty that could have ended his season and broke his leg. Didn't cuss at a ref because of that. And he gets fined twice the amount? Like, Chase's action was, 4 seconds? Said something to the ref, and the only reason he said that to the ref was because on audio, the ref told Chase, get the F out my face. So Chase responds back with a cuss word, and that's $34,000. But for some reason, the other situation, wearing a political hat, is not. And kind of going more into this, the NFL has a strict policy when it comes to what you can and cannot wear. It's outside of politics, by the way. You can't wear any endorsement or any brand that is not endorsed by the NFL. So, for example, if you have like a clothing brand that you're up and coming, and hey, I don't know, I'm gonna say Deebo, but any football player, right? You say, hey, can you please wear my brand? You cannot. You can't wear a hoodie, you can't wear a hat, you can't wear a beanie, you can't wear anything that would endorse another brand that is not sponsored by the NFL. The NFL has to be sponsored by them in order for you to use that brand or wear that brand. For example, let's say Coca-Cola sponsors the NFL. Well, you don't want your players walking around with Pepsi shirts on, right? Because that would look really bad. And then you would have the NFL, or Coca-Cola would contact the NFL and say, hey man, why is your star quarterback out there repping our competitor? Like that doesn't look good. So that's really the whole premise behind it. But for the most part, it's kind of a very strict kind of situation for that. And when you do, go against it, you get fined heavily. Marshawn Lynch wore gold cleats, wasn't allowed to do that. Got fined heavily. The difference is, or the Bengals, and they're the 49ers. That's what I really feel like. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I figured out a way to actually now be able to use my camera while I'm recording videos and live streaming. So, hey, you got the face back. I can't create a double chin. I want to. I used to be a little bit bigger, and I used to be able to create double chins, but can't. See you guys next one.